Faith as a costume. How power hides its true intent. If Jesus walked into Congress tomorrow, a whole lot of leaders would suddenly look uncomfortable. Why? Because faith isn't a slogan, it's a standard. Not a bumper sticker, a mirror. Too often those in power are rewarded for appearing righteous rather than being righteous. Promises are made for applause, not commitment. Morality becomes a costume worn for votes, then quietly taken off behind closed doors. So the real question isn't, do they believe? It's this: do they fear the God whose name they invoke, or only the cameras that capture their image? When faith becomes a tool instead of a compass, it no longer guides the conscience. It simply props up ambition. And I can't help but wonder, what would Jesus say? What Jesus might say today, based on his own words. You honor God with your lips, but your hearts are far from him. Matthew 15:8. Throughout the Gospels, Jesus confronted leaders who performed holiness while ignoring justice, mercy, and truth. He called it what it was: hypocrisy. He would challenge the misuse of God's name for personal benefit. Woe to you who exploit others in my name. You have turned what is sacred into a marketplace of ambition. Matthew 21, verse 12 to 13, paraphrased. For Jesus, faith is not a prop, it's a path, not a strategy, a surrendered life. You will know them by their fruits. That short sentence from Jesus, Matthew 7:16, carries a whole worldview inside it. Words can be rehearsed, but fruit can't be faked. Intentions sound noble, but fruit reveals what the heart truly loves. Titles impress, but fruit tells the truth. Jesus wasn't saying, look at how loudly someone claims faith. He was saying, look at what their life produces. Do their actions bring justice, compassion, honesty, humility, repentance, mercy, generosity, courage? Or do they produce division, pride, exploitation, manipulation, self-promotion, and empty promises? Fruit is the evidence, not stage presence, not platform, not charisma, not speeches dripping with Bible verses. Fruit. What someone really believes eventually shows up in how they treat the poor and powerless, how they use their influence. Do their choices align with the God they claim to follow? So when Jesus says you will know them by their fruits, he gives us permission and responsibility to look beyond appearances and ask, what does their life produce? Does it look like Jesus? Questions worth asking. Are promises made for the good of the people or the good of power? Do their decisions protect the vulnerable or the privileged? Is faith more often a tool than a compass in public life today? Why do you think that is? What does real faith demand that public performance never will?